Today, we're going to dive into the story of the action-packed movie The Old Guard, released in 2020. The film centers around a secretive group of immortal mercenaries who have been fighting to protect humanity for centuries. Bound by their inability to die, they operate from the shadows, taking on dangerous missions to safeguard the world. Let's begin the story of this thrilling film. At the start of the movie, we see several people lying on the ground, badly injured. Among them is the main character of our story, Amy. She reflects somberly, wondering how many more times they'll have to face death. Then, the story flashes back to a few days earlier. We are introduced to Andy, who is an old guard, an ancient immortal warrior. One day, she meets her old friend Rucka, who brings her a very special gift, a book believed to be the first novel ever written. The implication is profound. This group is so old that they were around when the very first stories were told. Rucka takes Andy to a secret hideout. On their way, a group of women nearby is taking selfies. By accident, Andy's photo gets clicked. She quickly takes the woman's phone, deletes the image, and takes a new one, which she then returns. This simple act shows just how committed Andy is to staying hidden, living a life shrouded in secrecy. Later, we are introduced to her comrades, Nick, Joe, and Booker Rucka. These four have fought countless battles together over the centuries. They are all immortal warriors. Soon, a man named Copley approaches them with a mission. Andy immediately expresses concern. She remembers working with Copley once before, and according to their rules, they never work with the same person twice. Doing so increases the risk of exposing their secret. Typically, there should be a gap of at least 50 to 60 years before working with the same contact again. But this mission is different. It's sensitive, and the lives of children are at stake. Andy agrees to meet with Copley and evaluate whether the mission is worth taking. If not, they'll back out immediately. During the meeting, Copley explains that in South Sudan, a terrorist group has kidnapped local children and is demanding ransom. The government is under pressure, but they can't involve the CIA. He pleads for the help of Andy and her team, insisting that only they can pull off a mission this covert and dangerous. When it comes to payment, Copley tells them they can name any price. They just need to get the job done. Although Andy senses something is off, she agrees to proceed, prioritizing the children's safety. The team travels to South Sudan with their ancient weapons and strategies. They arrive at a fortified location believed to be the terrorists' hideout. It's a concealed area, like a tunnel or bunker. Upon entry, they notice shoes and slippers scattered around, suggesting young girls might be held there. Silently and carefully, they descend into the hideout. But then comes a shocking twist. There are no children. It was all a setup. Suddenly, armed soldiers ambush them, opening fire relentlessly. Each soldier fires round after round, completely riddling their bodies with bullets. The four warriors are brutally gunned down. The soldiers, thinking the job is done, mock the overkill, wondering why such a large team was sent just to deal with four people. But then, we return to the scene from the beginning of the movie. Andy and the others rise from the ground. The bullets begin to pop out of their bodies, and their wounds begin to close. They possess an incredible healing factor, similar to characters like Deadpool, Wolverine, or Venom. No matter how badly injured, their bodies regenerate. They defeat the ambushing soldiers and escape. Now their mission changes. Copley has betrayed them, and he must be stopped before he tries to use or eliminate them again. Meanwhile, in Afghanistan, we see a military operation underway. A Marine named Nile is part of a team that's searching for a terrorist. The villagers, although initially protective of the terrorist, finally give away his location using subtle gestures. Nile and her team storm the place, but the terrorist slashes Nile's throat with a knife. She should have died. Instead, at that very moment, all four old guard members experience visions of her. At the same time, Nile begins seeing visions of them. This supernatural connection reveals that Nile is the next immortal warrior. Andy sets out to find her and bring her into the fold, instructing the others to locate and stop Copley. Nile awakens in a military hospital, fully healed. Her friend is in shock. How could someone survive such a deep neck wound? It doesn't make sense. We then meet Merrick, a powerful and ambitious scientist who is working on experimental medicines aimed at extending human life. His goal is to manipulate human metabolism to create a drug that can allow people to live to 100 years or more disease-free. With this, he hopes to make his company unimaginably rich. Copley, who works for Merrick, shows him footage of the immortal warriors healing from bullet wounds. Fascinated and greedy, Merrick decides he wants them captured for experimentation. He pays Copley handsomely and orders him to bring all four in, dead or alive. Back on a train, Andy explains Nile's new reality. She tells her that she's now an immortal like the rest of them. Nile is in disbelief. Andy warns her that while immortality seems like a gift, it comes with pain. Because while they live on, everyone they love will age and die. Nile, desperate to see her family, doesn't want any part of it. She tries to fight Andy to escape. The two engage in a brutal fight. Bones are broken, ribs crushed, but they keep healing and fighting. Andy finally says, "Enough." She admits Nile is strong, but she still has much to learn. There may come a time when their bodies stop healing, as it did with a friend of Andy's long ago. They arrive at a village in France known as Gossenval, a secret hideout. There, Nile meets the rest of the team. She learns that Andy might be over 5,000 years old, the first of their kind. Andy discovered others over the years, including a warrior named Gwyn, then Nick, Joe, and Booker. But nothing lasts forever. They tell Nile the tragic story of Gwyn, who was caught with Andy during a time when people believed they were witches. They were sentenced to burn alive. Knowing they'd regenerate, they planned to escape once everyone left. But instead of burning them, villagers placed Gwyn in an iron coffin and threw her into the sea. She's been trapped underwater for 500 years, alive, unable to die, and in constant agony. Andy tried to save her, but failed. Since then, she's carried the guilt and stopped searching. Meanwhile, Copley tracks down the team and launches another brutal ambush. During the assault, a powerful bomb explodes near Booker, causing horrific injuries. Nick and Joe are captured and taken to Merrick. Andy engages in a stunning battle sequence, using ancient weapons to take down modern soldiers. Nile offers to help, but Andy tells her to wait. She's not ready yet. Now that Merrick has two of the immortal warriors, he begins experimenting on them. He hopes to extract the immortal gene and create drugs that will revolutionize healthcare. But his motives are selfish. He wants to control the market and ensure no one else can replicate his formula. Even if the project fails, he plans to discard the warriors like lab rats. Booker, badly wounded, regroups with Andy and Nile. They track Merrick's location to a high-security building. But here, a major twist is revealed. Booker has betrayed them. He gave Copley all their information, where they live, their weaknesses, everything. Andy is furious and devastated. But Booker confesses that he did it not out of malice, but to spare. Immortality, he says, is a curse. Watching everyone you love die while you remain unchanged is unbearable. He hoped Merrick could find a cure, perhaps even a way to die. At the same time, Copley uncovers ancient newspaper clippings and historical records. He realizes that these warriors saved countless lives, scientists, leaders, reformers, who went on to shape the world. Touched by this, he switches sides and joins Nile to help free the others. They break into Merrick's facility in a final battle. Although the film uses minimal CGI, the fight scenes are intense and engaging. Andy and Nile face Merrick head-on. In the climax, Nile leaps off a building over 100 stories high, taking Merrick with her. He dies. She survives. The team escapes. They're now 5 again. In the final scenes, they hold a meeting to discuss Booker. As punishment for his betrayal, they exile him for 100 years. They can't kill him. He's immortal too. But they agree not to see or speak to him for a century. In a post-credit scene, we see Booker again alone. Suddenly, someone steps out of the shadows. It's Gwyn, alive, and clearly, she hasn't forgiven Andy. The movie ends on this suspenseful note, clearly setting the stage for a sequel. As the credits roll, Andy, Nile, Nick, and Joe appoint Copley to manage their missions. He's tasked with bringing them work to save innocent lives, but under strict secrecy. Wherever they go, he must erase all traces, on stone, water, land, or sky. The ending strongly hints at a second part. Thank you for watching. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel.